Hello, everyone. I'm about to discuss a topic here today. It's been an ongoing question among a lot of people who are either members of the Mormon faith or have friends or family that are members of the Mormon faith. Once in a while, I'll get the same question from some people. How can I get my Mormon friends or family members to quit the Mormon church and convert over to Christianity? And what I tell them is, what you're trying to do for them, they are trying to do the same thing for you. Because they think their church is the true church, just like you think your church is the true church as well. The way you go about it is, it really depends on the personality, the personality of who you're speaking to. 2, it depends on how long they've been involved in this faith and how much has been stored and transferred into their consciousness of an awareness of what they know to be true in their own faith. And it really depends on how long they've been in it and how long they've been only listening to those who are within their faith and how long they've been told to just ignore what other people are saying about it. It also depends on how much of an open mind they have. So, with that said, I'm going to be answering to a question a Christian has for Shawn McCraney with Heart of the Matter, based in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah.
What can a Christian do to get his Mormon family to become Christian? He's been married to an LDS for 15 years. I tell you, brother, it's the question of the century in our ministry, and I believe my personal thing is to back off on the because often that ends in divorce and other ugly things, and bring in the love, love, love. Don't be like me on the show. This is television, and just really just share Jesus, who he is, and just say, are you born again? Jesus, that's an imperative he gave in John 3. You must be born again. Have you been? And just and bring that into the discussion. Don't bring in theological things and all this stuff. This is just stuff for people who are kind of searching and trying to see what it all means. But Jesus is the one that changes lives. He's the one who does the salvation. He'll do it with your family too.
I have had some past Mormon friends who actually, they believed, and they told me this verbatim, that their marriage is not working out so well because they didn't get married in the temple. Oh my gosh. My wife and I got married in the temple. We're doing okay. Both of us have not gone to church in the past almost 5 years now. I gotta tell you one thing. Getting married in the temple, whether you're Mormon or Christian, Catholic, Jewish, whatever, yeah, if both people love going to that religion or belief or faith and believing in it, that's great. That'll give them something to agree on and build their marriage and foundation on. But you know what? If you have couples that have different beliefs and views, and that's not going to help much. What helps keep a marriage together is love, trust, acknowledgement, allowing each other room to grow, and nourishing the things your spouse or partner is dealing with that may be struggling with, nourishing those little things that they may need a little extra help with, and supporting one another. I know I've been married for almost 15 years now, and I married someone who is very strong in her beliefs and ways of doing things, and so am I. And we've actually went through counseling, a couples counseling over this, and we found ourselves working our way through our differences and coming to compromises. Also, we both have a fairly good understanding of what is truthful and what's not. For a while, it took me probably a good year or two to really continually be persistent in talking with my wife about the different things that Mormonism has taught her and myself over the years. Things that we were made to believe really are things that are connected to Freemasonry and other things that Joseph Smith borrowed from Freemasonry, and really is not what he conjured it up to be, as if it came directly from God himself. There's a lot of plagiarism from Freemasonry within Mormonism. Every single thing that she had ever learned, I ever learned and was taught, was pretty much made up by Joseph Smith. And that is something that is very hard to swallow, especially after things being told to you over your whole entire life, and you're made to believe that these things are actually true, but they really are just kind of partial truths or made up fairy tales. And early on, I just want to mention this because it's really important that you know this. Joseph Smith mentioned, and it has been recorded in the Book of Mormon, that he believes that there is no other church more true than the Mormon Church. There's no other book that is more true than the Book of Mormon. And he also mentioned that he did a better job in keeping a church together than anyone else, even Jesus Christ himself. That is pretty arrogant and pompous to be saying that, especially when today we are seeing it failing left and right, as they are coming out and they are telling people in the world the truth about their past leaders, the past things that they believed and did, that they are totally embarrassed about. You know what? When it comes down to it, religiosity, beliefs, if you have one person who believes one thing and another person believes another, and you're constantly butting heads, that is not helping. That does not help the relationship whatsoever. And it's just it'll be a never-ending battle. It'll go in circles over and over again until you guys are blue in the face and have had nervous breakdowns. I've been through it. My wife and I both have been through it. It's not fun going in circles. What you got to do is be able to sit down and discuss things, do your research, talk about things using common sense, good judgment, and weighing your pros and cons, and don't just go off of what your Mormon or Christian or Jewish or whatever religion leaders are telling you and what they've told you need to believe and what you need to do. Think about things that are, first of all, top priority in your life. What's important in your life? What's the most important in those you love and care about, what's important in their lives, and see if you can come together and help one another out. You know, water those seeds so that they can continue to grow. You don't want to, I would say, you don't want to pull too many weeds or trim too many hedges, because if you do, you're going to eventually irritate the flowers that you really want to grow, and they may not grow at all. You can do more damage to someone's personal growth by continually irritating them and pounding different types of ingredients, or primping and trying to make them fit in your views and your way of living and stuff. If you try to do that, it's not going to work. Nobody likes to be told that they're wrong or what they're doing is just not correct and they need to do it a certain way. Nobody likes that. One thing that I have learned from Mormonism is you lead by example. When they're talking about that, they usually mean that they're, say, be kind to your neighbor, be kind to your family and friends, and just do what is right. That's really important. That's one thing that I got from Mormonism that was actually helpful and positive. It's all about mirroring to one another what each other is saying, thinking and feeling and hearing. And once you both have been able to understand a little bit more of what each other is really thinking and feeling and going through, you might have you'll have a better chance of being able to help each other out and compromise. And what it all comes down to is nobody wants to be a pushover. Nobody wants to have to just sit back and let others just say and do whatever they want and walk all over them. No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't do that. But just be assertive and sure of what you want and what you're trying to achieve, and be happy and okay with yourself and your life. But also be supportive and happy for what others are doing and going through in their life as well. But don't be a frenemy by giving them these false hopes or reasonings. Don't give them a second to even believe that you're going to support them in something that you know is not true, or even and is false, or not even helpful. Try to understand where they're coming from and see that whatever they're going through may be helping them at the moment. But also, feed them a little bit of truth here and there, little by little. Plant seeds and see how it grows. Eventually, hopefully, with the seeds that you are planting and watering and nourishing with truth and honest realness, hopefully eventually the person, aka plant, will come around, and you will see them begin to sprout and understand what you shared with them. Sometimes that's what it takes. It takes persistence, but you got to do it with patience and love and acceptance, but not fully accepting of what they're going to continue to believe, which are lies. Continue to feed them the truth. Be honest with them. Let them know you care about them, and that's why you are telling them the truth. Other than that, that's the most you can do. If that person continues to want to do what they want to do, which is contrary to what you believe and what you want to see happen, if you still love each other and want to stay together, then don't bring up religion anymore. Just do your own things. Just continue to support each other for who you are and what you do as people, as human beings. But if the two of you are so set in your ways and stubborn and you're continuing to butt heads, that's not very healthy relationships. That's toxic. And maybe you do need to take time apart and sort out your differences and really think things through, or just move on and find someone that can agree with you. And all the best. Wish both sides the best of luck and finding love, loving and accepting love when you're coming from a mentality level that's going to be too stubborn to even care what others think or want to do in their own life. So, anyhow, I'm living proof, my wife's living proof that, you can traverse from Mormonism after living it through it your whole life and either not go to any church at all or trying out Christianity, see how it works for you. Both my parents are living proof of that. My mom was very gung-ho with it. She she tried getting us all heavily involved in Mormonism. My dad was there to support for the longest time, and he went through with it. He did Cub Scouts, and it was great for a while, but once we decided we wanted to stop going all together and we were done and tired of it, that was it. And I saw and lived through how damaging two strong-minded individuals can, with their two different beliefs, can really wreak havoc in a harmonious marriage. So yeah, pretty much you gotta be willing to compromise and still see each other for who you are, love one another, and accept each other's differences, and continue on to live out the best lives you know how. You're either going to support each other or you're not. But that doesn't mean you got to stop caring. So just love each other, respect one another, care about one another, no matter what. And that's the main the main rule and law that Jesus Christ taught, is to love one another. And as difficult as that is to do, because of people's own pride and ignorance, it's a very important rule. As frustrating as it is, setting apart your differences, it's what's gonna help save relationships. And that's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening.